My name is DJ Olo. This is the Beat Konductaz royalty-free 9th annual royalty-free sound design competition. Our judges are Sean J. Period.
What's up?
Sayo of Beat Society.
You.
Jay Clyde.
What's up, y'all? You know we're live from VA, as always.
Tony Smith of the James DeWitt Yancey Foundation.
Yeah, we here.
There you go. And Ski Beat.
What's up, baby? What's up?
But in round one, we've got DJ Big Smoove. We've got Blaudis. We've got Choppy Chop. We've got The Fingers. Cambo Slice. Kelsey. Soundtrack. Soul City. Switch. The Beats. D-Dot Professor. In Theory. All right, so here we go, man. Let's just get into round one. I don't want to talk anymore. Let's just get into some beats. This is it, man. All right, here we go. Mark, you ready?
My fucking face hurts.
That sound good, don't it? Good, don't it? Good, don't it? Yeah, that sound good, don't it?
So that was round one, man. Everybody had 3 minutes to play 2 beats, all royalty free, no copywritten samples. Did everybody get the list? Everybody know everybody's names?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. Let's start with Sean, and just give me all of them. Just run down your list, man. Starting with DJ Big Smoove.
All right. Big Smoove, I had 8. Blaudis 8. Choppy 9. The Fingers 8. Cambo 8. Kelsey 9. Soul City 10. Soundtrack 10. Switch 8. The Beat 9. Beats 9. D-Dot 9. And Theory 8.
All right. Big Smoove 7. Blaudis 8. Choppy Chop 9. The Fingers 7. Cambo Slice 8. Kelsey 9. Soul City 9. Soundtrack 7. Switch 6. The Beats 7. D-Dot 7. Theory 6.
Alright. Big Smoove 7. Blaudis 7. Choppy Chop 8. Fingers 8. Cambo 8. Kelsey 9. Soul City 9. Soundtrack 10. Switch 7. The Beat 8. D-Dot 9. Theory 7.
Okay. Big Smoove 7. Blaudis 7. Choppy Chop 8. The Fingers 7. Cambo 8. Kelsey 9. Soul City 9. Soundtrack 9. Switch 6. The Beats 8. D-Dot 8. And Theory 7.
Peace. Yo, got Big Smoove 7.5. Blaudis 7.5. Choppy 9.
Hold on.
Fingers.
Why you gotta give me hard math, man? Just keep it with phone numbers, man.
I'm going
Hey,
3
man.
quarters.
Hey,
Hey, man.
He's doing it in ounces.
Hey, when I get back in gas, I don't get my whole penny back or half a penny and everything. So I'm saying, you know,
All right, take it from the top.
two halves make a whole.
Tony gonna score it in Graham. He gonna score it in Graham.
All right. Choppy 9. The Fingers 7.5. Cambo Slice 8. Kelsey 9. Soul City 10. Soundtrack 9. Switch 7. Beats 9. D-Dot 9. Theory 8.
All right, cool. So match number 1. In round 2, match number 1 is going to be Soul City versus Switch. And then it'll be DJ Big Smoove versus Soundtrack. And then it's going to be Theory versus Kelsey. Number 4 is D-Dot Professor versus Blaudis. Number 5 is Choppy Chop versus The Fingers. And the last match is going to be Cambo Slice versus The Beats.
Oh man.
So that was Soul City versus Switch. So let's go ahead and get some feedback as well as your choice to go to round 3. Let's start with you, J. Clyde.
Yeah, I had Soul City moving on in this one. The first, the Am Peebles had a nice flip on the Am Peebles, very familiar sample. I never heard it flip like that before, so that was extremely dope. And then the second one was just the banger to put the nail in the coffin. So yeah, Soul City in that one.
The same. I actually had Soul City on that one as well. Soul City has been dope how he's been reinventing himself, and I'm starting to see he's coming into his own with it. Really, still the soul there, but just another level, man. So great job on that. And Switch, the stuff really wasn't necessarily beat battle stuff, but I totally see his stuff in, commercials and whatever. Like it just made you feel like you were in a good mood, but it definitely wasn't battle. Those particular two weren't up to what Soul City put down.
So I'm gonna go with Soul City as well, man. Like his drums just consistent. I just loved it, man. He just gave me like just a really good feeling. I loved his timing. Everything for me was just right there. But like Sean said, I did like Switch, but it was just really moody. Like you said, it wasn't really beat battle stuff, but I didn't not like it. But in this environment, I think I'm gonna go with Soul City. Yeah.
Man, come on. We came to battle. We came to rip off necks. You feel me? Your man switches, he's good, but Soul City wasn't playing. He was trying to go for no. You know what I mean? And he did it. Big shout out to Soul City. We're going to Soul City, man.
Well, if the ponytail don't rock, the beat don't knock. You know my answer. Soul City.
All right, there you go. So, it's Soul City over Switch. Shout out to Switch. He was in the very first battle, 2011. So he's been there for the past 9 years. But Soul City's moving to round 3. And up next we have Soundtrack versus DJ Big Smoove. Here we go.
2,000 people watch me every night who have an inferiority complex.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you niggas in the goddamn refrigerator, heating up all the food. Excuse me, brother.
So that was DJ Big Smoove versus Soundtrack. Judges, let's start this time with Jay Clyde.
I love Big Smoove. He's one of the true wild cards. He could, at any given Saturday, he could just like explode and take the whole thing because his style is so. He's got maybe one of the most distinct styles out of everybody here. But I had Soundtrack moving on in this one. He just had two bangers. I felt that Smoove. I wasn't really feeling the first one. The second one was nuts though. Like the huge drums, the hard electro sounds. It kind of was like Rick Rubin in 2021 sort of deal. Like that shit was crazy. But I felt that in the end, it just didn't stack up to both of the joints that Soundtrack brought. So I got Soundtrack moving on.
All right. Yo, in this one, I got Soundtrack going on. Yet, the one thing that I want to say about with Big Smoove, we have watched over the years Big Smoove go through so many change of gears and been able to do the best that he can with every piece of gear that he's actually been with. And yo, I can sit back and say, yo, it's always a pleasure to watch Big Smoove get up in these beat battles. And yo, Smoove, yo, man, thank you so much, because like I said, we've been watching the gear that you have been changing over and making transitions, and yo, the way that you've been flipping everything, yo, it's been dope though. Yet unfortunately this one had to go out to Soundtrack. Yo, peace out.
So Big Smoove, man, I wish you would have came. I wish that first beat was like that second beat. You know what I mean? I wish that first beat was like that second beat. The Soundtrack, I would give it the Soundtrack. He hit us hard both times. Paul, shit was dope. Soundtrack.
What's up, my dude?
My dudes.
How you doing?
Good
to see you.
Pleasure of coming to you guys.
Hey, I want to thank you for being one of the judges for my next challenge. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's a pleasure and an honor for me.
Honor is all mine. Believe me. Thank you.
All right.
Good seeing you.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir. I'm going to go with Soundtrack as well. And Ski said it, man. Like, it was the first beat that Big Smoove played. You know, it didn't hit me. That second one, if he would have came with something like that with the first, we would have had like a really hard choice there. But the first one just didn't catch me, you know. So I'm going to go with Soundtrack as well, you know.
Yeah, Soundtrack the same, and they said it all. I mean, Big Smoove is one of my favorite of the young guys, man. And it's just, you know, on any given, like you said, any given Saturday, man, the guy can bring it. But Soundtrack just came, you know, two that took him out. So, congrats, Soundtracks.
All right, up next is your boy, man, Kelsey versus Theory. Theory won the annual 2012 annual royalty-free battle. All right, here we go. Kelsey was in it last year. He was in the 2019, and he won 2 battles this year, back to back. He won the 28 Days of Dilla as well as the King of Beats. So let's see what happens here. So that was Kelsey versus Theory. I want to start. Let's start with Sean. That's your boy, Kel.
Oh gosh.
One more beat.
Yeah, okay.
One more beat.
I know you don't have to touch Kelly, right? And Kel, no, I don't. Look, it comes to battle. I don't play that. I don't play that voice stuff. So I mean, that's my guy. Man. But the one thing I'll say, man, this is hard, bro, because Kelsey, the first beat was just dope, but he let it sit in the pocket too long. And I tell anybody that we judge, after a while, something that's good can turn bad on you if you don't progress it. So I had to give it to Theory on the first beat. He just took it to it, and then the second one, Kelsey killed that one. This is hard because
one more.
You know what, man? I'm gonna have to go with Theory on it, man, because Theory came proper twice. Even though it was a slower tempo, I'm gonna have to give it to Theory on it because just the first one sat in the pocket too long. I have to go with my gut, so I give it to Theory.
All right, I'm gonna say this. For me, Theory's first beat, it didn't catch me. I felt like Kelsey came out with two bangers, especially the second one. That fit right on like ELE, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was right there. But Theory's second one, man, that thing sent me in a hole, man. Like, I was traveling with that. So it was rough, but I'm going to say Theory. That second one for me was everything.
Well, shit, son. I mean, I thought Theory beats was dope. I wasn't mad at him, but me, I'm all about the energy, and I just love Kelsey's energy with his drums and his swing. So I'm gonna say Kelsey, man, because I was feeling him.
Yeah, man. Obviously, I think, as y'all can tell, this is the first really, really tough decision of the day, and for good reason. I mean, both guys did a great job, and I think I've got to a place where I can justify my decision. So I'll break it down for you. So, to me, this one came down to the weaker beats, right? So, I thought that Theory, of the 4 beats that were played in the battle, Theory had the best one. It was the last one he played. That shit was amazing. And Kelsey's first beat was just under it. Like, I was stink facing that. I mean, that beat was incredible, great energy, battle shit, everything. So it came down to like the other 2 beats that they played, and so I think I kind of agree with Sal that Theory's first beat didn't quite hit me like that. So just by a hair, I'm gonna have to give it to Kelsey.
So it's tied up. Yes, it's tied up. It comes down to Tony.
And with
me too.
Don't give us any half points either.
Wah, wah. Dang, man. Like I said, Sean, you set it off because you and I have been, this is the one that has been the toughest one. Theory got it. Theory got this one.
Yeah, Theory.
Okay.
That's what's up. All right.
Theory.
So Theory's moving forward. Shout out to Kelsey. Like I said, Kelsey was in our 2019 royalty-free battle last year, and since he's been entering BeatKonductaz battles, he's been winning left and right. So hopefully 2021, man. Salute, shout out to Kelsey. He's dope, man. I love his music. Up next is D-Dot Professor versus Blaudis. All right, here we go. Kick it off,
All
man.
right, all right.
All right. Wow. I mean, obviously, two musicians, which we love. I mean, Blaudis pulling out, the saxophone, the accordion, just, and obviously BeatKonductaz is, professionally trained. And I mean, it was good to hear the musicianship that they both brought. The thing, I'm going to give it to D-Dot because his is just more immediate. Like, you hear it, you feel it, particularly in this context. Blaudis, I want to hear. I mean, to me, it just something struck me. It was like the Police, like scoring a movie for something. Like his stuff is just so like amazing. You want to see it with some visuals, something going with it. You know what I mean? Whereas D-Dot is just for this, as a song, he's immediate. So go give it to D-Dot.
I just write down just what I feel as things get played. D-Dot. The piano in the first one hit me automatically. It was playful, and it was just a lot of energy there. The first one for Blaudis, it wasn't bad, but it made me think of like 528 megahertz. I go to sleep to recharge to certain music. It's beautiful. It has its effects. You know what I'm saying? I would take mushrooms to that shit and like love it, But right now, it was just like, that first one, it was different, The second one for D-Dot, the bass line, the drums, just crazy, man. And that Hill Street Blues sax playing underneath, crazy. And Blaudis, still creative as hell. The accordion, I love it. But I'm going to say D-Dot.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. I'm going with D-Dot. Blaudis is dope, though. Super creative, but D-Dot was in that zone. You feel me?
I'll go ahead. I think I had D-Dot going ahead, and just a very simple reason. I think Sean and Sayo hit it on the head. This is the first time I'm hearing Blaudis, and I'm very impressed, man. Like I really love your style. It's very unique, and the musicianship is awesome, and your use of effects is great as well. So keep doing what you're doing. It's just I think they've kind of said. It's probably not the right vibe for like the battle format. I mean, I can hear your stuff, in the background of like Stranger Things all day long, man. Like for real. And quite frankly, you should probably pursue that, like trying to get your stuff in scores, like I think Sean said as well. But yeah, D-Dot had the battle energy, and that's what's going to win it every time. So, but salute to Blaudis.
Go ahead, Tom.
Peace. What up, Storm? All right, with this one, I'm going with Blaudis. And the reason why I'm going to say I'm going with Blaudis is because all beat makers know that you look for live musicians so that you could do music just like this. So Blaudis brought everything to a whole perspective of how he brought his instruments out to sit back and compose a track, yet everybody go digging for records to listen to those same type of sounds. So he won it automatically off of his creativity, how he's an actual musician. So I got Blaudis.
That's a good point.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, all valid points. So D-Dot still takes that one. And up next is The Fingers versus Choppy Chop.
fingers on the beat.
That was Choppy Chop versus the Fingers.
Wow. Okay. I'm going with this one. I'm giving this one to Choppy.
Yeah, I'm going with Choppy Chop as well. Just two distinct styles, and I'm taking the dirty, dusty funk and soul over the maybe the kind of synth heavy stuff this time. So Choppy Chop with the win.
Choppy Chop, baby.
Chop as well. But I will say this though, it wasn't about tempo. The tempos were pretty much evenly paced, but the way that Choppy used tempo, it still had more movement there, and that's what got it for me. Tempos were pretty much, and it was really well matched as far as that went. But Choppy, he still was able to do more, and it sealed it for me.
Yeah, and so the same Choppy for this one. The thing that Choppy's dope, and the Fingers obviously one of the newcomers to our particular group, dope. But the thing with Chop did that I always tell people, if you learn how to master actual silence, his second beat, the way he was doing his drop, the anticipation of just that split second of silence coming back in does something to people. That's why EDM works when they drop it out and come back. So you can tell he masters, what he's not just a novice at it. He studies how to use music to control your emotions. And the Fingers, the sound he came with was crazy on the second one, but his drums, if he would have used totally different drums, it could have been a different ball game. It was just, the sound was great, but he didn't, drum-wise, didn't take it to another place. So we go with Choppy.
Yo, Sean, I had that in my notes. That's what I wrote. The drums, I wanted more from them. I didn't dislike, but I wanted more from the drums. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but the Fingers is dope, though. I've seen him do some other stuff, too. So, but we're going to give it to Chop on this one.
All right, there you go. So Chop is taking this one. The last battle here, last but not least, is Cambo Slice versus the Beats.
Okay, so that's how it's gonna be. Y'all wanna play? Okay then.
Say this with me then. That shit was fire. That shit was fire. Same time. That shit was fire.
Damn, it's like the first and the last matches.
Wow.
Were,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was alright right there. So that was the Beats versus Cambo Slice. Judges, what you got to say about that? Let's start with Ski Beats this time.
I'm not ready.
All right, let's start with Sean.
Bro. All right. So this one, I mean, the Beats is, it's crazy, man. His fills and just his energy. He brings confidence with it. He knows he's dope, and I actually like that. Not in an arrogant way, but just he knows what he knows about his music. Cambo knew, recently to our group, but the thing I'm actually gonna give it to Cambo because when it came on, like he used the full spectrum of sound. You know what I mean? Like when you felt it's warm, but yet hard, but yet it's hot. Like, and his first beat was crazy, and I was about to penalize it for the same thing I said with Kelsey about sticking for too long. And he I was like, I was like, he knows what he's doing. He took us right to the edge. If he would have played one more bar, it would have been like, oh gosh, So we'll give it to Cambo on this, but great job, B.
Yes. All right. I'm going to give it to Cambo as well. That first one, man, it made me feel patriotic. You know what I'm saying? Like it made me just want to salute him. You know? Like, straight up, I'm not even that bored, but it got me there.
Get the defibrillator.
Right. And the second one for me, for Cambo, was just, man, like it was right, man. Like you said, the energy was just automatic, and Cambo.
This was easily the best battle of the day, in my opinion. Sure. I went. I've gone back and forth like 2 or 3 times now, based on what other people have said, and damn. Let me say this. So I like every single beat was dope. There wasn't a weak link in the whole bunch. I think just by a hair, I'm gonna have to go with Cambo. I'm gonna tell you why. Because on that first beat, like Sean said it exactly what I was thinking. As I was like, okay, this beat is dope, but it's too repetitive. And then he came with the change where he flipped the same sample differently, and it took me back to this real short period, like 97, 98, where like Primo was doing that in the middle of songs. He would flip it, and I haven't felt that way in a long time. So I got to give it to Cam on that one. And it could have gone either way, but Cam on that one.
For me, I mean, I love Beats. Period. Beats has always been top tier on how he does it. I mean, we have a couple people in this that's just up there. Just like Beats came into the last battle and just boom, won the last one. Yet, just like what I told Sean, when I just heard Cambo put that beat on, I said to Sean straight up, like, Sean, don't just remind you of the 90s right here. This is, I got to give it to Cambo for me. Just, that feel was like, it just took me straight back to the 90s, and it made sense, and it was like, yo, dang, man. But the beat's always showing improving anyway, but Cambo got this one.
Hey, man, definitely when I heard, don't get me wrong, the beats is crazy nice. You hear me, right?
Yeah.
The beats is crazy nice with it, but Cambo, man, it's just that nostalgic, man. That kid was born in the 90s making beats like that. He would have been popping. That shit was like, it just brought me back. So I'm definitely going to say Cambo.
Hey, yo, I just want to add one more small thing to the feedback. It's like, we miss doing these live, and when that beat switched, I audibly, I in my apartment by myself, I went, oh, like I was in a live audience, right? And we missed that. So I think that kind of pushed it over the top, is that it just forced the audible, visceral reaction.
For sure.
True that.
You know what, Ski? He actually fits now with the Griselda and Rock Marciano stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was thinking when he was playing that stuff, that he would fit right in that lane.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Beat Konductaz. This is our 9th annual royalty-free sound design competition. My name is DJ Olo. We are going into round 3. And in round 3, we have Soul City versus Soundtrack. We also have Choppy Chop versus Cambo Slice. And then we'll have Theory versus Beat Konductaz. That was crazy.
Gosh.
Wow.
Soundtrack has such a piercing sound. Crazy, man. All right, judges. Let's start with Tony Smith this time.
Starting with me.
Yeah.
Damn. I with this one. Jesus. Soundtrack. Damn.
Yeah, you know, this one's so tough because I mean, obviously, you can't judge it on like technical skill because both these dudes are amazing and like on that level. I think for me, it just comes down to what's better for the battle format, and I think in this instance, I'm gonna go with soundtrack because that second beat, and like his first beat was dope, but I don't know, I was kind of on the fence about it. And both joints Soul City played. If I was an artist, man, I would have taken them two right away because you could write up a storm to both of those. But I think for the beat battle format, that second one just sealed the deal for me. So soundtrack. I can't hear him at all.
I can't hear him at all.
I can hear him. Can you hear me, Ski? I can. Just say it. I can.
Oh, you read the lips.
You said soundtrack. Soundtrack. The first beat, I mean, Soul City, the melody, it just was crazy. Soundtrack, like, it was a bigger sound, but because it didn't have a top line melody, it would just kind of put you like, okay, hard, but it's like, but then the second beat of soundtrack, this was like a chest pose. it was just like up here, and you gotta respect that. So soundtrack.
I mean, I'm the only one, I guess, for Soul City, because like Sean, Soul City, his first beat for me, I was really feeling it. Soundtrack, it was moody, but I didn't connect to it. And then it came down to that second one. Soundtrack, of course, it was off, but I felt like I could have heard it before. It sounded familiar, not derivative, but familiar. So for me, I gave it to Soul City.
So yeah, I've been in that position before.
Yeah. But we know that soundtrack is super original, so it's not from that.
Yeah. Like I said, like not derivative, but familiar. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
You caught that beat in the third beat battle before.
All right, so soundtrack takes that one. Up next is going to be Choppy Chop versus Cambo Slice. Sean, kick it off.
So I have to give it to Choppy on this one. Cambo is dope. I mean, clearly he knows music. I mean, this whatever he sampling, how he does it, man, his stuff always comes off just real warm, and just the vibe is good. The second one is he did what I said a beat ago. He let the beat sit too long. And like after a certain point, it was like, okay, you gotta ask him. And then when Choppy come with that, Choppy mastered the fact he didn't put drums in the first 2 bars, and then he comes in with drums, like it's almost like a march thing. Like that got me, cause I'm like that was like Rockwilder when he did the Jay-Z thing, like dun dun dun. Yeah. It's something spacious in the beginning and hitting you on the end. So gotta give it to Chop on that.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Sean just said. I've been very impressed with Cambo today. That was he hasn't played a whack joint all day. I like his style. Bass lines has some creative changes in there on the first one. The second one, I think Sean hit it on the head. It was just kind of stayed in that pocket too long. It was a little bit. I mean, perfect for sending to artists. Simple, people can write to it, but in the battle format, maybe looking for a little more dynamic energy. And Choppy just brought that energy, man. Two really nice battle beats, slapping drums, and like I said, good energy. So I got Choppy moving on that one.
I'm gonna go with Choppy. As I was just sitting here, I just started drawing. Like he just put me somewhere, and it made me want to just start moving my pen, and I forgot where I was at for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like I connected that fast to it, and for me, it right there, it was Choppy. So I can sit into that and just keep drawing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
All right, cool. I guess we lost Ski's audio. Let's get into this last battle. The last battle is Theory versus D-Dot.
That sound good, don't it? Good, don't it?
right, there you go. So that was D-Dot versus Theory. Judges, who's going into the finals? Let's start with J. Clyde this time.
You know, neither of them really brought like that battle energy, so this was kind of tough to. Like both of them were kind of laid back, I think. You know, Theory had some nice joints, slapping drums. I like the synths in the first one. It was a feel good vibe, and you know, the second one made me feel good too. D-Dot kind of got to be careful because you set such a high standard with your musicianship. Like the second joint kind of left me wanting more. Like I thought it was gonna go further than it did. But I will say, you know, I think your like the jam and bass lines kind of saved you on this one. So I'll go with D-Dot by just a small hair.
All right. D-Dot.
D-Dot, for sure. It was crazy that they both used that first beat was a sample that we all knew really well, and I think D-Dot handled it the best, you know. So for me, D-Dot.
I got D-Dot as well because
I don't think it's anything you're doing, Ski, because there's no way none of us should be able to do it.
All right, cool. So,
D-Dot.
Yeah. So it's unanimous. Yeah, D-Dot is definitely going into the final round. Yeah. So like I said, it's unanimous. D-Dot does take that last round. So in the final round, it's going to be soundtrack, D-Dot and Choppy Chop.
Yeah, that sound good, don't it? sound good, don't it? Good, don't it?
All right, that's it, judges. That's the end of this whole series, the whole battle, man. So first, I just want to say shout out to all the competitors in all 9 years of all of our battles, man. Shout out to all of you, because all of you made it possible. Second, I want to say shout out to all of the judges from all 9 years, including our judges today, which is Sean J. Period, Tony Smith, Skill Beats, Sayo, and Jay Clyde.
Man, everybody was incredible. Everybody did their thing. Congratulations to everybody that even made it this far. But I'm gonna have to give it to Soundtrack for me. He does it for me, man. That's me. That's my opinion.
Bro.
Yeah, I think when it's what beat battles are all about, at least to me, is like who's the illest at flipping samples. And when it came down to it, I think putting it all together with this group of joints that he played, Soundtrack takes this one home. But I do want to say, I think, like in regards to Choppy Chop, at least for me today, like all the beats you played, dude, like you picked some shit today. Like he seriously brought the heat all day long, and I was super impressed by everything he played today. And then D-Dot, man, the third joints that you played, my favorite stuff that you played today were your trap joints. The third one you played, and then it was one in the earlier round that really like stood out to me. And I just think with your incredible musicianship, I think you can really shine and add a lot to that type of production. So keep exploring that, and you know, you're a threat to win any battle any given Saturday. So big up to y'all.
Yeah, for me, this one, I just really went what I felt and didn't write too many notes, just kind of went with the flow. And for me, it was Choppy Chop. You know, I really liked what he was doing. It was just something different there. Some things that I felt like I hadn't really heard or felt, you know? So, Choppy.
For this one, I have to go with Soundtracks on it. Soundtrack, not with ass. Soundtrack. It's just something about him. I mean, the fact that he could do stuff non-familiar, and then come back and do like familiar stuff. I mean, watching him and hearing what he did, it's like watching a band. If you go to a concert with a singer, and the singer is going off stage to like change clothes, and the band is just cooking. It's just like he was killing it, bro. But I mean, like to come down to Choppy and D-Dot, you know, this was the perfect ending. You know, because Choppy's super original all the time, dope, like clearly knows how to evoke emotions with the music. And as far as D-Dot with his musicianship, flipping samples to doing live stuff, his bass runs, everything, you know what I mean? It's like totally, it was the perfect ending, but definitely have to give it the Soundtrack.
Man, this was a good one right here. This is the way to end it right here. I definitely love the sounds of D-Dot. D-Dot brought the heat with that one. And with Choppy, to sit back and watch a veteran just sit back and be right up in this whole time. Choppy has really improved, like his whole production style, his whole crew. Hey, Choppy, don't forget, remember the red joint? Yeah. Also with Soundtrack, yo, the way he paints a picture, just like the way Sean was saying, man, he's theatrical. Soundtrack is very theatrical with his whole production, and he's actually he's the theme music for people's lives. But yet in this particular situation, I'm going to go with the veterans over all the youngest, so I'm going with Choppy.
So unfortunately, Choppy does fall short. 3-2, Soundtrack is taking this one. Shout out to Soundtrack.
Yeah.
our 9th annual royalty-free battle 2020. I'll be getting in contact with him.
Well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved,
Sure.
man. You know what I'm saying? He came into one of the battles a little louder a couple months ago, and he smashed everybody. And there he goes. You know what I'm saying? This is the grand finale right here. He smashed everyone again. He smashed everyone from all 9 years. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? This is
Wow.
yeah, man. This is a big award right here, man. So shout out to Soundtrack. Judges, I want to thank you again, man, for taking the time to be with us today. If
Thank
people
you.
wanted to find you, I just want to give you a quick plug. If people wanted to find you, Sean J. Period. I know you got the Drumstacks website just launched, man. If people wanted to find you, how can they find you?
Yeah, it's drumstacks.com. I'm definitely mainly on Instagram, so Sean J. Period Music and Drumstacks on Instagram.
My fax number is 215. But no, you can find me at Beat Society Originals on Instagram or SAOPEM at Instagram. And check us out there. We're on hiatus with COVID, but we're going to come back hopefully in the spring just for new episodes of the podcast and new episodes of the live show as well. So this year, 2020, was just rough, man. Just rough.
Yeah, man, mostly on Instagram, but Instagram and Twitter is at jclyde757. Joints on Bandcamp. If you want to check out some beat tapes, the link is in my Instagram bio, and it's joints on Spotify too. Just search for me, and or if you need help finding it, just DM me and I'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, man, Smack Pack out. Smack Pack Volume 5 is out. Any producer that want to get in the challenge, go to my page, Ski Beats. That's my Instagram, SKIBEATZ. Hit me up, get the package and the link, and just follow your boy. That's it.
Peace and blessings, everybody. You can beat me on my beeper at 555-1216. You can just look for us on the J Dilla Foundation or Official My Dukes. We do have our merch line out there on the J Dilla Foundation merch site, as well as you can also find me Vintage Vibe Music Group, where the family has the most Dilla music than any other record label out there. So if you're really looking for that stuff, that just not all that commercialized stuff with Dilla, you need to come on the Vintage Vibe Music Group and check that authentic Dilla stuff right there. Plus we got more coming because some good things actually happen. So holla, Joe.
Dope.
There you go, man. I want to say thank you again to all the judges, everyone on Instagram Live, everybody on Facebook Live. My name is DJ Olo. Shout out to Soundtrack, winner of the 9th annual royalty-free